I mean, you are like our superhero. You don't know
Yeah.
this yet, but you know now. So
Why?
this.
What I did, man? Tell me about it. Good, awesome, man. Well, thank you so much for waiting.
It's fantastic to have you here. I mean,
Yeah.
we're really
Oh,
nervous a
thank
bit
you.
because you have a lot of experience. You have a lot of things that you did and thing. I mean, you are a well-known artist around the world, and you
No,
made
no, not much, man.
production. Don't kill our dreams.
Oh, thank
We
you.
don't-
We just met like a week ago, man. That's so crazy, surreal, man.
yeah,
I saw
we
the Juani interview. I was like,
yeah
oh, nice. And
yeah.
then you just pin me like, oh, that's very fast. Synchronicities, man.
Yeah, so you liking it. I say I want to know him because I want to
Yeah.
see more than just the works. I want to know more about his experience, his path, and how you got where you
Oh.
are. Because
Yeah, definitely, man. I have a lot of scars. No worries. I love struggle. So it's definitely like nice to share these things because I mean like wait, as you said, like most of the time you see the product, you see the pizza, but you don't see the struggles of the chef, you don't see like how to get the ingredients, you don't see like how to set up the pizzeria, all the
yeah,
stuff. So there's a lot of things happening behind, and those things are actually more interesting because those are more like connected to the real life. It's like you may see my profile of the stuff and say, oh, this guy made it. I might still have my own stuff here. There's a lot of things that I have to go through or went through to get where I am right now. And it's not like I'm not saying that it was like super difficult, but wasn't easy, but was the challenge that you choose. You choose your challenges.
hmm
And when you choose a challenge, you have to be aware that there's going to be like very, very crazy, extreme obstacles, difficult stuff. And oh man, it's a lot of things that I went through, I've been through, and I'm still into that. But those are things that are part of the journey. It's the hero's journey. Like
yeah,
you have you start with nothing. You start getting your tools. You start getting the adventure stuff. You start meeting people along the way, getting you better on that and this, and then you start like getting obstacles, and then you die, and then you resurrect, and you
yeah.
became better. It's the hero's journey, man. It's just like
Like like Goku and
Yeah,
yeah, Super Saiyan.
it's
When
super.
you die or when you risk to die,
Yeah, when you are close to die, you
yeah,
get
you
better
get better.
and you
yeah,
get more power.
or I mean, it's like it's sometimes it's everything. It's like a point where you feel that either you're super hungry, or you're desperate to get something, or you're gonna jump out of the cliff.
hmm
So you have to do it. You don't have second thoughts. You say, "Oh, fuck it, no, I can do other things," or "My family is rich," or "This is just a hobby," whatever. It's like you just do it or do it. You just have to put everything on that, and whatever happens, you either die or you resurrect. It's like flying. You just jump out of a cliff, and the only way to know that you can have wings is only if you jump. But you just need to be desperately trying to live. You say, "Oh, I'm gonna die. If I don't put my wings, I don't I cannot fly." So you have to, okay, boom, put your wings and you can fly. Now you realize, shit, I have wings all this way. I didn't know because I didn't trust in myself. I wasn't confident, and society was telling me that this and that. I was listening to a lot of people, but I was not listening to who I am. So it's a lot. It's a lot of shit, man. But end of the day, it's like it's noise. It's like the mental thing. It's like what happened right now. Just telling me that, oh, is this pandemic? All this stuff is that, like, but you have to, is pandemic or not, it's just energy. And it's not bad or good energy. It's just energy, man. So you can take it and use it for your advantage, because end of the day, it's just energy, man. You just, okay, I want to put that energy in my advantage. So, oh, everything is closed. Okay, let's go online and let's pull the trigger online. There's a lot of shit online, and you can train yourself online for free. You can get software for free. You have Blender for free. You have, like this Epic Games engine for free. So it's a lot of tools right now that you can access for free. You can learn from a lot of people in YouTube. There's a lot of content. There's no excuse. It's more about organizing the
Yeah.
way of how you think, and just to maximize that energy, like for a goal. And that's another problem, because like nowadays in this society, for even for the junior generation, everything is about instant gratification. You go in the phone, and you don't want to spend like an hour reading shit. You just want to spend 1 second and like and move on, So newcomers or new generation, they want things fast and now. And things takes time, man. Dude, it takes a lot of time to get things done. You will get there for some reason, Even if you don't get there, you will get somewhere, all right? But it takes time. When I was used to teach a lot, and you get these kind of questions all the time, like, oh, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to get fast, I want to get to this industry, everyone want to work on Pixar or DreamWorks, all this stuff, big companies, all this stuff, but they don't realize that they have to start. I always put analogies, man, because the best way to explain is analogies. Like, say, no, you cannot think like that. You have to put analogies, man. You say, okay, this art is a natural process. When you see a pregnant lady getting pregnant, in order for you to have a baby, it needs to wait 9 months, because that's the natural process of being pregnant. It's not like in 2 weeks or in 1 month. It's 9 months, because nature established that as a law. You have to wait that. Or you go to martial arts, you cannot jump to black belt. You have to start with the foundation, like the white belt, then to green, yellow, whatever color is that. And then you get to black, but you have to go slowly, learn the foundation, learn what you really want to do, why you want to do it, and start like going through that path. So it's more about like getting the proper guidance rather than, because there's a lot of noise out there. There's a lot of noise about like the glamorous, this thing here and there, that's why I'm telling you, I'm not very active with social media, because there's no filter, there can be peers like in my industry that they give a bad impression how this works, or they give a bad impression of bad example, unfortunately, of how these things work, how to get there. It's not like that. And unfortunately, some of these people are very good influencers, and they get a lot of people, and people get a misunderstanding of like how things work in life, how things work in everything, because it's not just like you do work in this industry and that's it. There's a lot of things involved in that, like people, I just want to drop off college and all that stuff. Like, dude, man, if you're a third country like myself, you have to apply for a visa. They don't gonna give you a visa if you don't have a paper justifying that you have a diploma, dude. So if you believe in the school system or not, you need a diploma to go overseas and get approved by the government, and then go to the studio. So more people say, oh, maybe I don't need a visa, I don't need that, but that's good for you. But there's too many colors, there's too many variants that can change, and it's about understanding that, because you see the final result, but you don't see like what it takes to be there, and also like what you want to be. You want to be like, oh, I want to do cool stuff, or you really want to take this seriously and go through the path of an artist and a designer. That is not like, well, I mean, you're from Italy, like that's the best artist in our Western history is from Italy, So there's a big path. Those artists, they were like designers, engineers, architects, sculptors. They were everything in one, So you have to embrace. It's a very heavy discipline, and those people in the past, they were building the foundation of history. You have like the different periods of history in our humanity. It's been dictated by art, not because it's fun, it's beautiful. It's because they portrayed how reality was in that time. So all the movements, political movements, revolutions, was triggered by art in the history of humanity. Since the Neanderthal was painting in the caves like some bulls and all the stuff, the first impression was an artistic impression. So that's very pivotal in our society. So and it's very crazy when you see like parents like, oh, I don't support my son to be an artist. You want to be a doctor. You have to be an engineer. Nobody's forcing you to be an artist. When I say artist, can be anything, 3D artist, animator. Yeah, I'm just putting that in the whole package. But they don't understand like how art is very, very important and pivotal for development in society, for everything. When you watch news, when you see politics, everything is being influenced by design, man. You don't follow this guy because this guy don't use these proper colors, they don't use the proper typography, they don't use the proper language. That's design. It's communication. Design, art is communication. Everything is being guided and constructed by design. Once you start learning that stuff, the fundamentals of design, like art history, design history, photography, all those things, you start realizing, holy shit, this thing is so big, man. this thing is so big, and you can do a lot of stuff in every sense. Like you say, oh, I don't have a job. Bro, if you know the tools about design, about communication, you can monetize anything. You can create a job from nowhere. You know, it's not like, oh, I want to work for Pixar. Do your own Pixar, dude. You know, like get her some 5 people, do some cool script, and start building your animation, pitch animation in Blender or whatever. In 6 months, you will have something cool, and you start pitching that in Netflix, Amazon, Apple, whoever's going to buy that, or not, you can turn that shit into an NFT. Who knows?
Who knows?
You know.
Yeah.
So it's like that is being creative. Creative is not like, oh, I work in this industry. Creative is like being able to understand with your talents how you can maximize them, how you can create your own job. You know, that's the cool thing. We can create our own jobs. The market is not just ABCD. We can create our own market. You know, like, oh, I'm an animator, 3D artist. Like, so you want to just work on film or video games? Maybe. What about if you just approach a museum or approach something, because people now are implementing VR, AR stuff for their interactive stuff. Why not? These things are happening right now. So there's a lot of synergies that are happening today because of technology, and we should take advantage of those, and we can make the rules on that. And of course, we can monetize that which is the best thing.
Yeah.
So this is exciting times because we can do it from home.
yeah, there are a lot of possibilities now with all, not only social media, but indeed all these services out there. But everything starts from ourselves, right? As you were saying, I mean, if you want to learn, if you want to even go and dream about going working for Pixar, create your own Pixar, create your own Disney, create your stuff and try to put your style into it, try to put yourself into it and create your own market, create your own way of communicating what you have inside, outside.
Yes. And someone will buy that. You know? Well, of course, I cannot say that. When I was starting this, I dreamed working on these studios, all right? You know, but before going to that, because for me, it was not like, oh, I want to work in this studio and I just apply. You know, you have to do a lot of shit. I mean, like you have to learn a new language. You have to work 4 times harder than other people. So it's a lot of stuff, but those things I didn't see it as a bad thing. Actually, we're super awesome because I learned more things. It's like a polyglot, you know? A polyglot can speak to many languages. So when you learn a lot of languages, your brain systematically is learning how to solve different problems without you thinking consciously. Your brain, when you start learning, I don't know, Italian, French, Portuguese, or Chinese, whatever, your brain, whatever you start doing things, the synapse of your brain is solving that shit in 4 ways because it's thinking in 4 ways. It's split it in 4 things, you know? So same thing, when you learn more stuff, you're making your own way. You're trying to find your own way. You're not going to the conventional ones. Oh, I don't have $100,000 to study in this high-end college in US. Too difficult to get there. Okay, man, start studying by your own stuff. Get stuff from animation, get some experience working with anatomy, do some gymnastics, experience with your own body, so you can start building your own way of learning stuff. And that's more exciting than just getting to the formula, you know?
Yeah.
Like Bruce Lee, man. Like Bruce Lee was like, okay, you have like the Wing Chun, all this stuff. Bruce Lee, okay, fuck it. I'm gonna experiment with boxing. I'm gonna experiment with salsa. I'm gonna experiment and he just created his Wing Chun, man, like his own style of martial art, because he said like, I get the system, but I want to create my own way, my own one, you know, like just my own system. And he did it, you know. It's that kind of mentality that is like, okay, take whatever you have right now and maximize it. Don't victimize it. It's like, oh, I don't have this opportunity. I don't speak this language. I don't have this money. It's like, no, what I have in advantage that these people don't have. So you have to always see that. And that advantage is going to make you unique. And that uniqueness is going to help you to shine, but not to shine to get likes or followers. It's to shine for yourself and to be unique with your voice. It's like, man, I'm speaking English with my Spanish accent. I cannot fake it, but that's my uniqueness of being South American. I cannot fake American English or British English, but I can speak English through my accent, you know? So the same thing, authenticity comes with that understanding that you have the advantage and you are not in disadvantage. So that mentality change, and then you can reach anything. Of course, it takes time. It's difficult, but it's like at least you're not pessimistic and like, oh, if I don't do it, I cannot work it out. If that's not the way, I cannot work it out. Oh man, it's too many ways you can work it out. Use what you have in your advantage. There's a lot of things.
And that's where comes creativity, because you have, when options start eventually to shrink, you have to find your own way with what you have. Because indeed, if you have everything, like if you have, as you were saying in the beginning, you have a lot of maybe money, you good family, and you can do whatever you want. You may even have less. It can happen. Not always. There are people that are really creative also in that way. But you have more chances when you don't have anything and you have to invest everything into it. You have to find your ways. Like creating. I personally bring it to creating startups, because before I had 2 startups in the event industry. And when you start from zero, you have really, really few resources. When we started everything like this thing, like we have no money. How do we do this? And started to invest our time and find ways to interact and know more people and know more artists and get inspired. Because every time that we do a call like this one with you, we get inspired like 10 times more than before, and then we go and do 10 times more. And that's having few resources makes you creative, makes you more able to find your own ways, even if you have indeed less money or you don't have all that softwares that big studios can use. You can find your way to express yourself anyway. It's just about
and that's not a disadvantage. Yeah, definitely. That's not a disadvantage. That's actually an advantage. Like the design element is like less is more, right? Right? So if you have with less tools, you know how to maximize them. That's the proverb of design. Good design is about the economy. Good design is not about abundance. It's about economy. If with just one tool, you can make anything, but you have to understand that tool, how it works. If you have a lot of tools, you just have a lot of tools. It's about like understanding how to use it. It's like a good chef, if you're a good chef, just with rice and oil, you can just make the best rice, the best risotto. You can have everything, all the kitchen for you. But you just say, I just need the oil and the rice and a little bit of clams. Done. You can beat anyone because you understand the limitations of your tool and you know how to maximize it to the limit. It's understanding. It's just understanding, because I know I don't have a lot. You need a lot. It's mind games, man. It's like mind games.
Yeah, it's mindset.
Yeah, like it's like your brain always plays with you, come with you. It's like, oh, I don't have this, I don't have that. Oh, this is so cool. Oh, I don't have money to buy this new graphic card. It's like, man, just work with what you have. That's the challenge. There's a reason why you don't have it. There's a reason why other people have it and you don't have it. And if you don't have it, it's probably because you have to understand certain things and you can make it better and unique. And that's how I work all my life, bro. I didn't have the tools, I didn't have the language, the connections, the money, nothing. But everything has to be improvised. Everything needs to be find your own way with your own methods.
Work with what you have. We brought down for ourselves.
Yeah.
For anyone watching this, work with what you have.
Okay, wait. We are live streaming or something?
How did you choose your own challenges to be sure that you can have your wings?
What's the hunger? Not like the physical hunger. It's more like, I mean, like I grew up like watching movies and like popular culture, all the stuff, and I remember I remember I like fantasy. Like kids, you like fantasy, you like spaceships, and you like science fiction stuff. All right, so you say, okay, I just draw stuff, cool stuff. But then I think I was in high school, and they released the Lord of the Rings. The first one, the Fellowship of the Ring. I was like, oh, what the fuck is that, man? It's like, this is extremely epic, man. This is too much. This is too much. So since that day, I said, like, I want to work with those guys. I don't know how I'm gonna make it. I'm just gonna just work 3-4 times better. I start like the Dragon Ball analogy. Like putting weights, go like 5 times gravity, and like trains extremely hard. Like super crazy hardcore. And because I knew like, okay, just to get there, you just need to be good. Like because those people, they're already good. Those people, they already have the education. Those people get everything. They already have it. You don't have it. What are you gonna do about it? You're gonna cry or you're gonna fight? It's like, okay, let's fight. You start putting you have to create your own motivation. You need your own poly, like Rocky Balboa. You need your own poly, like try taking you out from the bed. It's like, okay, fight. Let's train hard. Let's do hard. You have to read stuff. You have to get tutorials, forums, whatever. So that was the hunger, because I really wanted to do it. I said like, I want to spend my life. I wanna rely on my skills as an artist, but those things is not about just talent, because like you're talented. No, you have to make it work. It's like the boxer's life, like talent doesn't exist. You have to just go to the ring and fight and get it done, and you have to receive punches all the time. So after 5 years, you know how to dodge and you know how to move, and your body gets stronger. So same thing, the hunger was like lifting me up, the motivation to do that stuff over and over and over and over. And I mean, of course, just through school, then through college, with the same mentality, same mindset, just like focus on one thing only. It doesn't matter. You don't have it doesn't matter. Just focus on one thing only. So after like from high school to that took me like 15 years. Because I literally applied to work at Weta. Weta was the studio that did Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
So I was like literally really wholly crazy prepared for the apply, and I was extremely deep honest. It's like, man, I don't have experience, because all these studios, you need 5 years of experience. Like, how you have experience to apply? Come on, man.
I have to start somewhere.
Yeah, but anyway, you just like, you have to. On that time, you can write a letter and you send portfolio and stuff. So I was super genuine noob guy. So that, yeah, I don't have the experience, but just bring me the challenge and we'll just do it. So, and things happened,
Yeah,
things
what
happened.
happened?
So hard work pays off. But on that time, the one guy contacted me. Actually, I think he's Italian as well. This Michael Pangracio. He's a legend of matte painting. So I received an email from him. I was like shitting in my pants. I was like, yeah, damn it, this guy's Indiana Jones and Star Wars. Dude, this guy is the real deal. So it's like, he just put me a test to do for 5 days, like anything, illustrations or paintings, like CGI. I was like, oh, fuck it. So I did it. And the guy said, okay, that's okay. It's okay. It's like, but it's okay. You can come and work. I was like, yeah, man, that's crazy. But that was not the beginning, man. The beginning was like, now to get a visa to go to New Zealand was extremely difficult, because I was like maybe almost like 10 years ago, 10, 11 years ago, South American, Colombian, getting a visa. It's like, oh, I love checkups, and the nearest embassy was in Chile. So I have to say, it took like 6 months to get a visa, man. Almost 6 months to get a visa for me.
So
to
you
get
were
to
like
New
with
Zealand.
your dream getting reality, but stopped by 6 months of visas. I want to go there. Come on.
No, the punches is still coming, man. Punches is still coming. Oh yeah, your nationality, all the stuff. So, okay, I don't mind. Just bring it on. I don't mind. Bring it on. I don't care. So after 6 months, this thing happened. I went there and I just get like hardcore training with this guy, super hardcore, like training like CGI. Because one thing is that I came from graphic design education, and I make my own way as an illustrator. Like I just digital illustration, traditional illustration, graphic design. I love typography, composition. I love that education I already have, but production design for entertainment, I was like not aware of that. So the hardcore training was like learning how production work for this industry. It's not like you just paint something. You have to build something that is going to help different departments, 3D department, rotoscopy, matte painting, digital, blah, 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 all the stuff. And also you have to work with a different pipeline with the 3D department. It's at the beginning, it sounds like very complicated, but I was like, okay, I want to learn it. It's like, let's learn this stuff. Let's do it, So I worked with these guys for 6 months because there's two studios. There's Weta Digital, which is like the like Lucasfilm, like you have like a VFX production house, and you have Weta Workshop, which is like a physical house, physical effects. You know, like you have prosthetics and you have like you know like animatronics, people moving their eyes. You know, like 80s movies. There you have like a creatures moving with a control remote. It's like
Yeah.
this kind of like old school that is super awesome, man. It's really like wow. But there's two studios. So I got into the digital one without knowing. And then the one I was working on a pitch project. The pitch project was like no release, and I said, okay, whatever. So I was like, okay, this is not the end, man. I'm gonna go to Weta Workshop, which was like next door, and the studio was next door, and I'm gonna literally apply for that. Literally apply. So I sent again another application, but I was already in New Zealand. And I say, oh, I'm aware of digital. I just, guys, you are the best. I just want to apply and I want to try it. I'm already here in New Zealand. Just give me the chance. I'm working with a sister company. And the guy's like, all right, but the things here are a little bit more different from where a digital, from a lot of stuff, bureaucracy and a lot of things. I said, I don't mind. So they just put me in, and man, it was like Predator. You know, in Predator you have like the platoon with the badasses of the badasses. I entered there, and all of them badasses. I was like, holy shit, you know, like you know, like you have big guys there, like super crazy, talented, like oh my god. But it's good. That's the challenge, man. I mean, you cannot get better if you don't work with the best. You know, it doesn't matter. You have to get better. So I was like, okay, you when I give you like a 1 week trial, all right. So yeah, it's fair. It's fair. It's meritocratic. You know, if you want to own it, you have to get it. You have to own it. You know, no contacts, nothing. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. They throw me the challenge. So they throw me a challenge, like like a video game kind of stuff, cinematic stuff, and I did it pretty well. So the guys were like, okay, you're really good. This is really good stuff. We like your stuff. So let's start working. Let's drop you a real project. So next week I got immediately directly with the Hobbit, working on that project, like
Boom,
directly
like that.
in the yeah to the wolves. Then I was like, okay,
Are you ready?
Well,
Boom, let's go.
like so. In that day, I went to the bookstore and bought. I still have the book here, man. I bought the book, The Hobbit, and I started reading again. I was like, oh man, I can't believe. Like 15 years ago, I made the promise to work with these guys for the Lord of the Rings. I'm working now on the Middle Earth, literally on the same universe.
Yeah.
So it was like a milestone, like a bucket list milestone. But that was not like
Wow.
like you know like the dragon, like oh I wish. No, it's like you have to work out all those years to get there. You know, and I just give you like a synopsis because it was very, very, very difficult. I went through a lot of stuff, but it definitely pays off, all these things. And since then, when I started working on the first project, well, I didn't realize on that time, but it was actually 3 movies, you know. And I have the fortune to meet Alan Lee, John Howe, those like living legends. They were like just like penciling everything. Like, these guys actually were the guys making all the Lord of the Rings books alive. You know, the illustrations of Lord of the Rings is by those guys. Definitely, it's like there's no doubt these guys are legendary. And these guys met Tolkien when he was alive, so it's like even more legendary. It's like the Kaiosama, you know, the Kamisama of Kamisamas, you know, the gods, you know. So that was like super exciting. I learned a lot of stuff. I met fantastic, amazing, talented artists. Richard Taylor, he's the head of that the studio. The studio was made by Peter Jackson and Richard Taylor. So Richard Taylor, like physical effects, super like, you know, like physical guy. And Peter Jackson, of course, he was like the director. But since then, Richard Taylor is like the head of that. And it's like uber, extremely creative. It's like another race. This guy's an alien. He's like super, super talented, super creative. He was extremely good mentor. All the stuff that I know, that I apply in my work, is because of him. I learned a lot about like production work, production design for film, movies, from the physical point of view. Because when you work in there, everything is there. You design costumes. Next door is the costume department. People literally building the costume. and then criticizing the custom. Oh, this custom doesn't work because the guy needs to put the bow like this and throw the arrows. So everything has a functionality and aesthetic point into it. So whatever you design, you have to come with those things. Those things are going to be built in real life, and those things need to function. And also those things, they need to have a lot of storytelling, because you as a viewer, you have to buy it and you have to feel that, oh, it's from elves. And those elves, they have history, and they're very different from humans and very different from the dwarves. And same thing for the dwarves. We have to build everything from the scratch. The universe, how they speak, how they fight, the weapons, everything. So those things you learn there, like, oh, actually, this is real hardcore design. Of course, you see a movie, 2 hours movie, and that's it. But the production and building that stuff takes a lot of work, a lot of effort, a lot of thinking, a lot of process, a lot of talent. It's not just artists doing stuff. It's like custom designers, architects, sculptors, animatronic engineers, prosthetic artists, doubles, actors. But you see that in life. Yeah, you're not working just in a cubicle. You go to the next door and you see people building a real fucking set. I remember I was doing the entrance of Erebor, the dwarfs. I was doing some sketches. I love sketches. A lot of artists did that. Like even a lot of stuff. And I did some more ideas. And then like a month later, some of those, not my ideas, but the combination of different ideas with mine, of course, I was looking some of the sculpture in real time. I was like, no, this is amazing, man. I think I have like a public, how do you say that? Permission to post those works, because you cannot post it if they are not printed in the book. So, but I can publicly share those, and some of them are like there, like some like dwarves standing like statues, and I was like, wow, that's a love. It's a very good stuff feeling to see that these things happening. Even same with the character guys or the creature guys. So it's amazing. And after that, we work simultaneously, because we don't work in one show and then next show. Simultaneously, we work in different movies. I was working in different projects. Hobbit was one of those. Hercules, one of the other one, and some more projects like theme parks, which you as a concept artist, you don't work only just doing images. Like I told you before, it's a lot of things. Sometimes theme parks utilizing virtual imagery. So it's like, okay, how this is going to work? Or sometimes like physical stuff, or sometimes like a custom design, sometimes a weapon, sometimes like sci-fi, sometimes cyberpunk, and next day is fantasy. So you constantly need to be able to adapt fast, and you have to be, and the adaptability needs to be smooth and good. It's like you're speaking Italian right now, and tomorrow you have a French client, you have to speak French fluently, and you have to do it well. But that's how you prepare yourself. It's about, you can be talented drawing stuff, and you have like, but when you go to a job, that's a different thing. Like it's like you can be a nice martial artist and doing this, but when you go to the octagon, you have to survive. And some things don't work in real life. You have to protect your face. It doesn't matter if it looks good in real life, that beautiful kick. You have to protect your face. So same thing applies. It's like, it cannot be that beautiful, but you have to make it work. It needs to provide results, and it needs to look good. Because if they don't buy it, the movie will not sell. And you have to be good enough. So it's a mix of talent, but it's a mix also of strategies and formulas. You cannot just rely on talent. Every day you want to do beautiful stuff, but you have to do it. Mm-hmm. So you have to rely on formulas. You have to rely on ways how to make it work and look nice and appealing and functional. So yeah, it was like good times, very, very strong. For me, that was the Shaolin Temple training, man, because it was like every time, everywhere, a lot of projects, every time, overtime. But that's how you that's how you train. You can either train 5 years, or you go to the time room in Kamisama's time room. Like 1 year is 1 day. It's like, and then after the door opens, like, holy shit, you're stronger, man. Yeah, like, let me see your power level. Oh my god,
it's over 9,000.
So it's impossible. Like, So yeah, but was basically like that. It's just like my bird grows and my design skills grow. So I was like, okay, I'm ready for the next challenge.
I'm ready for the fight.
Ready for the next challenge. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, it's like it was a long history, and after that, with a friend of mine, some couple of friends, we wanted to jump to a next level. Not better, it's just a next level, a different level,
Mhm.
which is like, okay, let's move to another place. Let's try to create our own thing. Like you a creative, you always want to do your own thing. It's like I'm kind of tired a little bit, so I just go on. So we got a contact to come here in Singapore. That time was like this school, FCD school, Feng Shui school.
Mhm.
And we just tried to make it work for 1 year. Didn't work out very well. When you realize that you are an artist, you need to learn business. it's a different world, man. But I mean, learning is good. You learn new stuff. We split with my friends. All of them are just doing their own stuff. I just persisted. I said, I want to stay in Singapore, man. I like Anthony Bourdain TV shows about Asian food, so I want to stay. I want to stay.
That's it.
Um, so I think it's not working for a while. I'm trying to find my own stuff. Um, trial and error. I just try to build my own company here, and again, trying to learn business. Very difficult because you're not used to that. You're only used to do creative stuff, but you're not used to micromanage or understand how business work from artistic point of view. So it's like, but that was a huge, massive lesson for me. And I was still here in and out. I still love academy. So after that, I still like working with Malaysia. It's a school of animation and illustration. It's well known in Southeast Asia. So I started working with them slowly, and at the same time, I was like applying for Lucasfilm, another bucket list. You grew up watching Lord of the Rings and also Star Wars. So it's like, okay, I need to get the yin and yang. So it's like, okay, let's apply, and I apply. It's like, oh yeah, we know your work and everything. Oh my God, this guy knows my work. We have a branch in Singapore, by the way. You would like to just go there and work with us? It's like no thinking, man. Just of course, man. So over there again, another Predator team. I just met another team of badasses, amazing artists, legend people that I admire a lot. Of course, I don't meet them here because they work mostly in San Francisco, London, or branches. But I was part of that art team, so I was like, oh man. So this team has a reputation, so I have to put my best there. You have to put your guts. So you go with the elite guys. You have to work. You have to make it work. So I worked there for 3 years. I worked in some movies there, some theme parks as well. Some movies I cannot disclose because that stuff is owned by Disney. But after some years of working hard with them, so they really value my work, and they said, okay, you wanna work as an art director here. It's like, oh my God, that would be the best of the best. Definitely. Thank you so much. Thank you for acknowledging that. So since then, I've been working with them as an art director, mostly working with VFX on pre-productions most of the time. And yeah, it's been a whole ride. I've been learning a lot of stuff. Technology is moving things so fast. Sometimes I'm being involved working mostly in VR or AR stuff. So just trying to blend of that mentality. But I still remember the foundation of everything. Foundation of everything is about design. It's about understanding history. It's about understanding what things are you're designing, and to understand the client's point of view, how you can provide a good product that is also part of you, that you're putting some of your ideas, some of your thoughts, some of your critical thinking, which is very important. That's something that I always constantly do and try to not reinforce, but I try just to explain when I'm working with them, and they value that kind of thinking. That it's not just like, oh, just produce thing A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That sometimes it can be like that because it's production. Production is that produce,
Yeah.
But sometimes when you move like an extra mile, you can do some wonderful stuff. And sometimes you don't get the result from the client, but sometimes you get the result for yourself. You learn a new thing. You learn new stuff, and it didn't work. Sometimes it's not in the movie, or nobody cares about that, or you cannot share about it. It doesn't matter. It's something that you can now have for yourself, and that goes to the next step: personal work. Well, now
You,
you work on this industry, you need
we've
personal
seen
work.
we see indeed from your portfolio, your website, that there are a lot of personal works which are outstanding.
Yeah.
But
Thanks,
like
thanks a
The
lot,
feedback.
man.
I felt in love with Cosmomorpho. Like it is.
Oh, that thing is 360-degree different from concept work. Why is that? The example of the polyglot. I really want to learn new languages. When you learn, for example, if I learn Italian, it can be easy because it's similar to the Latin roots, or French, Portuguese. But what about you learn Japanese? Totally different shit. So that's the challenge that I want. It's like I want to jump into the comfort zone and do some experimental stuff. Totally different, very difficult. But then, like, okay, you get that, you learn a new language. Now sometimes, I got the chance to fly to Japan. It was like one of my dreams to with Japan and just get a rice and eat like Goku,
Yeah.
all the stuff. But one of all my dreams, then when I arrived there, I was like, man, I really need to do something with this style, like Ghibli style. And then on that year, I started doing paintings on that kind of line work. Totally different from concept, totally different from production, totally different from science fiction or what. So it helps me to now explore another voice, totally different. Like, it doesn't look like, oh, you did that. It looks so different, and so on. So now what I'm doing is it's not just personal work. Hey, dude, I'm doing personal work for that. Now it's like building universes. So right now I'm building, like, you call it IP. It's IPs, right? Right? Because I mean, you have the tools, so it's good that you are helping someone else with your tools. It's not about like, work for you. No, it's like I'm helping you to visualize your project,
It's
right?
totally different.
You trust me, you pay me, and I'm helping you. You pay me, thank you. But now the other 50%, I need to apply that mentality to my own work.
Yes.
And it's that different. I'm a different animal on that. It's not like, oh, I need to do fast. And it's like, I need time. I spent like maybe 5 years building something. I'm still building one of those IPs because I really want to do it. And I can see like how things are moving, evolving, and changing a little bit, and that, adding things and here and there. But that's the only excuse that I have, like, because I cannot just say, oh, I'm doing personal work and that's it. The personal work needs to have like a goal, and the goal is a story, and the story can turn Y or Z thing. Can be a movie, can be a video game, can be an NFT. I don't mind. I don't care. But as far as I build the content consistently as a personal work, it's good. And then, oh, I'm so tired of sci-fi. Okay, do personal work with fantasy. Good. Start building your own stuff. It doesn't need to be the most original, the best one, perfect. No, start with something. You will get somewhere. You cannot like wait until everything is perfect. No, I don't speak in the street until I don't speak English properly. No, man, just go there and take the MRT or take the train with your bad English. You have to make it work, and then you start learning the mistakes during the way. So you build the plane. Meanwhile, you're flying it. You know what I mean? You don't have to wait until the plane is done. You have to just, meanwhile it's flying, you have to build it, and you have to learn. Okay, maybe I do this, I do that, and that keeps me motivated right now. It's not like, oh, you work. No, it's about like, and potentially become something. I don't know.
How do you balance, working for productions and working for someone else and your own stuff? Because, for example, we've seen that when becoming an artist working in a production, you get sucked by all the work and you have much less time even for yourself or other activities. And doing personal projects is something that eventually you pause for a while and then go back to after a while. How do you manage to make the things
Well,
together?
I hired someone look like me, and he does the
Oh.
work, and I do.
And that's why we are here, I think. You want to hire us for...
Yeah, exactly. I just need my body doubles. No. I mean, that's a good question. But I mean, no, at the beginning, you have to do the heavy weightlifting, It's not like, oh, yeah, I figured it out, man. I know. No, but the only way for me to understand how to work with the time is experience, man. There's no formula. There's no formula. It's like, again, the boxer example. The only way how you can sustain 5 rounds is only experience 5 rounds. Man, you can run anytime. You have like your cardio is awesome. Your stamina is awesome. But when you go to the ring, 5 rounds consecutive is different, and you're gonna waste a lot of energy. Now, when you've been doing that for 5 years, you know how to preserve the energy for 5 rounds.
Okay.
Same thing here. Same thing here. I'm like being and then I get tired at one point, and then I know how to micromanage this kind of energy. I just like you just energy. You just have to put the amount of energy in the right amount of time and place, and the other part of the energy, like start cutting those slices of pizza instead of like eating the whole pizza. So you just have like different batteries for different things. So for personal work, I care a lot. So it's not like, I can do that in production. I can do things in hours, But for personal work, I don't care about that, because it's not about efficiency. I don't want to be efficient on that. I want to be creative on that, which is a different mentality. And some people fall in that trap. I have peers or friends of mine that they just, I finished my work doing spaceships. No, personal work, I do spaceships. Like it's a line. Like, no, change it. Change the whole thing. It's not about like you have to do this. I did this in my lunch break. I did this last night before I sleep. Personal work needs care, time, love. It's your child, So it's a different thing. You're investing on that. You're not just like doing things for selling or making things. But again, that's my personal approach. There's nothing wrong with the other methods. But I feel that if I'm working X amount of time for certain purposes, I should dedicate X amount of time with a different mindset, because it's yours. And at the end of the day, maybe when I get so old, I just don't want to be like, you're so efficient. You're very efficient with your work. I don't want to be like that. I want to be like, wow, that's interesting. That has a nice concept. Yeah, because I put a lot of concept on that. I put a lot of time. I put like history. It's like the stuff that you say, cosmomorpho. Yeah, it's visually appealing. I know that. Some people say, it's too dark. But it has a history on that. It has like a lot of history. And I'm building those little stories towards that guy. It's like different stories about this cosmic thing affecting these people and turning into some sort of surrealistic, ethereal, light, digital cosmos or whatever. But it's the story. It needs time. It's not like, oh man, I did it in Blender in 5 hours and it's so fast. It's like, I don't care about that. It's like how those things makes, why you choose those colors, why this is red and it's blue, So there's a lot of things there that I just put a lot of head, a lot of mind. What is the metaphor about the blue pill and the red pill? Maybe the red pill is the burden in his neck, It's like a lot of shit. It's a lot of stuff. And I like to inject it all the time. Even if people don't realize it or don't know it or don't ask, I just put it there. If you ask, I will tell you. I will say, oh, interesting. Or maybe, that's just stupid. But I don't care because it's mine, and maybe I will sell it. Maybe I will not sell it. I have that as an IP and I start like using those, for example, to try with the NFT. But the NFT as a secondary market because things are changing. But it's not like, if I don't sell it, it's bad. No, you just try it. It's organic, it's flexible. Like Bruce Lee, be water, my friend. If you put the water in the base, become the base. You put the water in the pond, become the pond. It doesn't need to be strategically one thing. It can be anything. And as far as you're having fun and you're creatively active, that's a good thing. You don't get old, man. You don't get like, I'm tired of this. I lose faith in this industry. No, it's not about that. I like to spread good thinking and
you do
realistic thinking. It's realistic. It's not unrealistic. It's not like, so you are optimistic. No, it's real, man. It's like, you just do it. Believe in your stuff, man. It's like, build it, But it's the time. People are lazy sometimes. It takes time. Just do it, man. I know people that start their art journey at 25 years old. So I'm too old for what? Shit, man. It's like that's a societal boring mindset that doesn't make any sense at all. Like, all for learning what? If you have that mindset, you enter the matrix. and you became like limit, to those things. If you out of the matrix, you became limitless, because you tomorrow you say, I want to be a chef. Why not? If you really love that stuff, you will develop the talent for it. If you take 10 times, 10 years or whatever, doesn't matter. But that old mentality that is no, if you're not talented, you're not an artist. That's a myth. you know it's a myth. For me, it's a myth. If you have more advantage in certain things, like, oh, your eye is more developed, yeah, I get it. Yeah, some people may have those things, like you say a gymnast, like, okay, this is a gymnast, like, come on, 5 years old, he can squeeze like that. But doesn't mean that you cannot try it your own way.
Yeah. I mean,
Because at the end of the day, it's your own stuff, and it's gonna make you unique for that. So it's like comparing people with that's very old school, man. For me, I don't believe in that stuff, to be honest. I don't believe, not because I'm crazy, or it's because I have my goals strong, man. I like, it's noise, man. I just put my headphones and my glasses. I don't hear that shit. I don't see that shit. I focus on my own stuff, and that's whatever it takes me. Some people did it at 16 years old. I don't care. I don't mind. That's good for them, but that's my journey. I have my own journey, and I'm happy to go through that journey. Whatever I get, if it's awards or no awards, or money or not money, I did it. Your dream is something that you have to respect with everything. You have to honor that dream. You came to this life for that shit. You came to this life to compare yourself with other people. Like, oh, I know this is guy and this is like, you have your own stuff, you have your own dream. Just go for it. If it's difficult, impossible, just try your best. At least you try it. At least you put your 100%. And if you put your 100%, you will get somewhere. There's no excuse, man, to be honest.
I have a question about you and your time. Do you read a lot and meditate a lot? Because I'm curious about this. Because you have a lot of things. The way you make metaphors, or the way the words that you use to describe things are really, I can see them, I can picture them in my mind. So it's really a way to communicate, which is made of pictures, and I really like that. Do you read a lot? How do you inspire yourself? How do you inspire yourself?
It's a meditate also. Don't picture me like in a lotus flower pose. Okay, Zen garden.
Don't do this.
But I do that. I do that all the time. But meditation is, for me, the way how I see it is my movement. I like to do long walks alone, and when I walk, my thoughts are moving, because physically I'm moving. So my thoughts are sparring. Like and then moving, and then I get in a negotiation, and then I get channeling. I channel. I try to channel all the time. I read a lot, but not read about like my readings is more about like metaphysical stuff, esoteric stuff, like past life stuff. I'm very spiritual kind of person. I believe in reincarnation, all this stuff, which for me makes sense, resonates with me, with the way how I see reality. It resonates with me. Some people, I don't believe in that, fuck it. But for me, it resonates, and I do my own research on this and that. I'm very interested of like the metaphysical world, the spiritual world, the physical world, analogies, why we came here, who we are as human beings, all the stuff. I question all these things, and then I work on this and that. Then all those things, like holistic stuff, whatever you apply with your work is also things that manifest in your physical reality, like your emotions, where you're from, where you're coming from. I cannot, I'm from Latin America, so I'm an expressive person. So I tend to use different kind of colors in my work, not because I just like them. It's because it's part of my culture. I grew up watching those colors. I grew up like with women dancing around me all the time, because everyone dances in my country. So for me, like it's part of the culture. So it's things that you cannot get away, even though you try to do things and that. But I think that's part of my process. And how being inspired is more about like, being inspired is me talking about these things, because sometimes I'm down or whatever, all pandemic or whatever shit. But there's a lot of things beyond that. I know that, and I can feel that stuff. There's a lot of things beyond that. It's about how you change the channel, the TV. You have the TV, but you can change the channels. It's up to you. You want to put like a channel that everything is lowering your levels of energy, or you can put a channel that is enriching you and making you better and giving you the tools. And sometimes I'm physically very active. I like to run a lot, like, because the body needs to oxygenate. It needs to like release the toxins, because you work in an industry, or you work you have like a lot of mental stress, a lot of mental taxing, like, oh, this and that. Artists were very complicated in all senses. Artists or sensitive people, or everyone is complicated. But I feel that you need to do physical grounding. You need to attach like a tree. You have to go to the ground and do physical things to just like release those things and start refreshing your brain, and start like doing micro things that you like, that you love. And for me, it's like simple things like food. Food makes me very happy. Simple things like $5 or $4 food, like very cheap street food, makes me happy, change my day, change my mood. Simple things. And I appreciate those simple things. Like, for example, it's sunny. It's fucking sunny, man. I can go out and run. Or simple things, like very simple things. I don't expect like, oh, I won the lottery, I'm happy now, or I got this job. I just like awareness of the present for me. The present is the one that carries all the clues, all the answers. If I think in the future, it's like the present plus 2 seconds, but the future doesn't bring me anything. It brings me anxiety, and the past doesn't bring me much unless it's experience. So I try to constantly embrace and be grateful with the fucking present, because the present is what it is what I have right now. Tomorrow I don't know what happens. Tomorrow I get abducted by an alien or whatever, but today is what I'm doing, what I've been doing so far, and I have to respect that. What I have is what I have. What I'm done is what I'm done. So I have to understand that, I embrace that, and yeah, I'm not perfect, man. I have to have my own struggles, my own conflicts, my own demons, whatever. But it's not about like rejecting those, sparring. It's like the yin yang stuff. Like, you need that darkness, you need that light, but you need the balance, because you cannot be just light, or you cannot be just darkness. You just need you need both. You need to work with both. You're not inspired, okay, find your inspiration. You're not artistic enough, find your art. You're not good at everything. It's always something there. Like, nothing is perfect. It's always something there, like bugging you all the time, man. I'm just trying to be okay. Because yeah, I mean, like, you get stressed, you get older faster. So like, fuck it, not worth it.
We saw a picture of you in the TED Talk that you were making as a samurai.
with
And
the
Yeah.
And I wrote down, I have to ask him about samurai, because I want, you can read it, but I want to be a samurai like him. So how did you do that?
No, I was like, at that time they have like these comics. I used to watch Saint Seiya. You know Saint Seiya?
No.
I love Saint Seiya. So anyway, it's an old school anime. So they have all those things there. I was like, holy shit! I just need, and they just give you these dresses. Like, okay, fuck it, I just dress with. I'm just a kid, man. Like, at the end of the day, like, doesn't matter how the bear grows or you get bald or whatever. Like, you're a kid, man. Like,
Yeah.
it's like you're a kid.
If you find yourself back when you were like younger, much younger,
Yeah.
studying all of this, what suggestion would you give to your younger self?
Nothing, man. I don't regret anything. All the stuff that I did was my own mistakes and my own doing, and those things that took me to where I am. I don't want to cheat. I broke my knee, for example, but if I don't break my knee, I would probably not learn our lessons,
Mm-hmm.
So all those things that happened to me, I have to appreciate them, I have to just, those are for a reason. Maybe the opposite is that sometimes I want to see that kid as a reminder, but sometimes you forget the promises. So I just keep the kid. I say, oh, I did it, just to remind, hey, I did it, and yeah.
As a reminder.
Yeah. So I just try to respect that kid all the time. Yeah, it's very, because like most people say, oh, no, don't do this, don't do that, do this, and that, but you have to respect that kid, because that's genuinely your dream. For more crazy that it appears, for more challenging that it appears, you have to respect that kid. I always keep that kid next to me, man, like as a reminder. Like, sometimes I complain about this job, all this and that, but like the kid is like, he didn't think about that shit. He just inspired. He He just wanna go. He just wanna see that movie. He just got inspired by watching that movie. That's it. Simple. What simple times, simple mentality. So I try to keep it like that way, because that's where I was more inspired. So yeah, that kid is the one that I respect the most. I don't give him anything. I just don't tell him anything. If I meet him in the past in a time machine, I just leave him alone. He needs to go and fall. He needs to get his own mistakes. He gets to get hit in the face. All that shit. That's how you that's how you learn, man.
No words, really. Thank you, because this is really authentic. It's really it's really
thanks,
deep,
man.
and we love this.
Thanks, man. Thanks, man. No, thanks. I appreciate that you like that to hear this stuff. Sometimes it's not about. Sometimes it's not about work and all this stuff that we do, man. To be honest, for me, it's not that. That's the whole thing. Thanks to you guys. As you say, I mean, like, it's good to keep. I always keep I take out the labels, man. You know, I don't. It's like martial arts, man. You can have different belts, but you take out the fucking belt, you put it in the ground. The belt is not gonna do anything. You are the one who knows the martial art, not the belt. You know? And you always go back to white. You have to always go to the foundation.
You explode. He's writing this down.
But it applies in my life, man. I mean, like, I learned. I used to have like good masters, you know, and they taught me good stuff, you know, and they teach me shit, you know. Like, I love good stuff. It's like that. It doesn't matter, you know. Like, you can put things here and there, but at the end of the day, you're the one who have to prove yourself, you know, on that stuff, and you have to start from zero. I'm doing actually that with NFT stuff. I'm starting NFT, not like, oh, you know, I'm an artist. I'm doing that. No, man, I'm starting from zero, square zero, doing something totally different, just to try, you know. And I don't mind. I don't mind because I don't carry the tags or the labels behind me, because those are just, you know, like, they are virtual labels. They don't exist, you know. Society built those because society needs those tags, you know, to, oh, you're this engineer with this and that. But I don't get it. I deal with humans, and that's it, you know. I don't mind if you're Italian or Portuguese or French. You are the same for me, you know. So it's the same shit. So, like, you have to start from the scratch. You have to start from zero. I start from zero. If I want to learn how to cook, well, it doesn't matter if I'm an artist. I have to start from zero, you know. And it's always about that. You know, it's not like, oh, I have this label and you should treat me like this because I'm this. No, I start from zero, man. Things are changing. People don't give a shit if you have this label. I'm the president of this island. I don't care, man. It's like, you know, I don't care. So it's more about that. But I mean, not a lot of people thinking that way. So some people need the label thing. Some people need the name, the surname, you know. But that, because sometimes that society works like that way. But personally, when I'm like sitting right now doing my stuff, I don't mind that. You know, like, if you're like not interested, I'm still talking to you about the same shit. You know, if you're the president of Cambodia or whatever, I'm been talking to you about the same shit. You know, you know, I've been dressing with the same way. I don't need to change too much of my. But again, that's my way. Sometimes it leads me to a bad thing. Sometimes I don't care. But yeah, I just don't want to waste time thinking too much about that stuff. It's too much.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
But anyway, guys, thank you
you.
so much.
Thank
you
you.
guys have a nice evening, lovely evening over there.
You too.
Stay healthy. Don't believe too much in the drama in the news.
I'm gonna meditate more and read more.
Yeah.
Because I took inspiration from this. I want to do this. I don't know. I will keep you
I
updated of
can
everything we
send
do.
you. I can send you ebooks, really nice ebooks about this stuff. I have really mind-breaking books. Some of them are very crazy, weird, but it's up to where you are right now. You believe in this shit.
Thank you.
Have a good one over there. Okay.
Bye.
Ciao, ciao.
Bye. Ciao, ciao.
So